What does Lindsay need to know regarding her health? I'm seeing a lot of green juices. Feels like cleanse or detox diets or something. Is that something that you've tried or that you've done? It feels more like it's the energy of trying different fads and just trying to have something work rather than it being an actual suggestion. So I'm curious if that resonates. But yeah, it keeps emphasizing the detox. It's about like detoxing over and over again. So I don't know if you have looked into that and that's why it's coming up about detoxing or doing some sort of reset, like nervous system reset or other things like that. In the past, I did, but I have a chronic illness, myalgic encephalomyelitis, chronic fatigue syndrome, chronic complex debilitating illness characterized by severe fatigue, cognitive dysfunction, post-exertional malaise. Okay. All right. So back to where we were. Detoxing, trying anything with fads. It feels like that's the energy of like, how can I get something to work? How can I have the reset that I need? Kind of makes sense now in understanding what this is. It's like, well, can I just, can I eat something? Can I try something? Can I recalibrate my even circadian rhythm? Can I do some sort of a reset to try to get this to work, to have my energy where I want it to be? But mindfulness in all categories. It's how it's coming through. It's not just the mindful eating. It's not just the mind, like it feels very holistic and across the board. Have you met with any holistic practitioners or anything in more like Eastern medicine or something? Like, have you been meeting with specialists on this? I'm just getting something about like specialized care, but also this holistic piece of that it's not just the one thing. There's not just the one treatment. It's like a combination of some different shifts. Came in later, so I missed them. The first reading was talking about juggling a lot, mentally, having a lot of momentum, wanting to pivot, going into something else, and to clear some things off your to-do list, clear things from your mind so that you can harness the momentum you already have and moving into that new direction that you want to go. And the second reading was entering a portal for the next 2 months where you are exploring. You have set out the goal of learning something, taking something with you, getting something out of that experience. Reading 2 resonates. I'm in a recovery program and making slow progress, but it's a painful journey with lots. Yeah. Yes, definitely holistic. It's mind and body based on brain retraining. Okay, perfect. So that feels aligned and supportive, but yeah, like you were saying, slow, slightly painful because it's a lot to recalibrate. But what's coming in is it's worth the wait. It's worth the process. Okay, yeah, so I guess reading 2 does make sense because it's a set period of time and you know you're going to get something out of it on the other side. Okay, so I can understand where you're coming from now. All right, so is there anything else that can support Lindsay other than just the encouragement that when you're sticking to this, when you know you're going to get something on the other side, that it's the mind is very powerful. Seeking stability through this process or just after? What I'm getting is, so presumably when this program is supposed to end, making sure you have your ducks in a row, that you have, I keep getting things about literally like setting the table. So like your apartment or your house or wherever it is that you live, having things be set up and rearranged to account for more comfort or to support your needs. I don't know exactly what these specifics are, but it keeps being emphasized in fine tuning your living space. so that it gives you a sense of grounding and stability, that what you have there is reflecting back the energy, the messages of what you are learning in this program, so that when you stop it, you're not just like going back to exactly the life as you were. Like it's like shifting the vibration and just what you have access to. Like it's, you clean out your fridge of the things that aren't going to be supportive for your diet. But I keep getting things like posters on your wall or images that you have, or does it feel serene and calming? Does it support, should you put mantras up somewhere? Like something that's infusing whatever it is that you're learning, and making sure that that is integrated into your living space so that you're surrounded by it. So it's not that you leave. You want to keep getting reminders, and taking things out that aren't supporting the lifestyle that you're being taught, because otherwise it feels like, okay, if you just kind of go back um, into exactly how you were living and how it was, that I don't know, there's just an emphasis on like the things that you're seeing in the space that you're living in. Like it feels like it is supportive to shift what's around you and what you're looking at every day. That makes sense. I'm always moving things around in my home to pattern interrupt unhelpful brain patterns, and I have affirmations around me. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, so being really intentional about things that you are being taught, and you can do this on a rolling basis. It doesn't mean that you have to wait until you're done and then start doing it. As you learn something, as you get inspired, moving some different things around, getting rid of some items, food and otherwise, and making those adjustments so that by the time the program is done, you're now in a fully transformed space that will continue to support what you are doing. I'm so curious about like your chart now, because the fact that the home is so important. So I wonder if you have. I keep getting stuff about Taurus, but it also, when you're talking about interior design, it's very Libra. But then the emphasis on the home, it also could be Cancer. So I'm like, I don't know, I don't know where you fall in those, and it doesn't matter, because we have Cancer on the card. New Moon in Cancer. Relax. This is funny. These cards have a sense of humor. You're a Cancer. Okay, then it's meant to be. So we're having this call here. One, I think this is funny because one, part of what we are talking about with your health is kind of a challenge in relation to relaxing, which is really funny, I think. But Cancer, I was talking about things with the home, recalibrating your space. Obviously, you said you are Cancer, so it's picking up on a lot of different connection points. But with the new moon, it's starting a new chapter, and that's what we've been talking about this whole time, is we're harnessing this program. That's why I keep also getting brought back to the first reading, because it's like we're harnessing the things that we're working on and we're learning and the things we have to do, and we're using it. Oh, and Jupiter is going into Cancer. So that was related to the first reading. So kind of all the above, using that to redirect us to go on a new path. So I think you have a bit of an overlap energetically with what's happening. New moon is about the beginnings. It's about manifesting. What do we want to manifest for you? What we're talking about, we want to manifest health. We want to manifest balance, recalibration. And with Jupiter going into Cancer, the hope here is that that's supportive as well. So I would be curious to know if you happen to know where Cancer is in your chart, which house it's in. Because obviously your sun can be anywhere. You're very welcome. It feels supportive. It feels like everything that's going on, like the spirit team out there, whoever's watching you, guiding you, like knows you're starting something new. You're really trying to make a change. You're trying to table set. You're trying to relax, but not relax. You're trying to do that healing and that inner work, spiritual work, physical work. What does Catherine need to know? I'm seeing somebody getting a buzz cut. Lots of interpretations here. I can rattle some of them off, but let me know if this symbolically makes sense for you. My mind goes to, it's like the energy of, I'm just going to cut all my hair off. It's like that kind of feeling of just, I'm just going to take drastic measures to shed and just do something. And so it could be literally to your appearance in some capacity. Maybe my son, he wants a mohawk. That's funny. What's your exercise routine? I'm getting movement practices. So one way of feeling unstuck, if we have stagnant energy, is moving. And it doesn't have to be, yes, it can be in the sense of physical health, but psychologically, it does something. When we can move, when we can release pent up energy or frustrations, or we can use it for that collective reading to clear our mind. If we move our body, even if it's just like going for a quick walk around the neighborhood for 5 minutes and coming back. So I'm just getting brought to, if we're feeling stuck, one of the really simple hacks for creating a sense of momentum is by moving ourselves, even if it's something small, simple, and like low intensity. Yes, I try to walk and do weights, but haven't been consistent. So again, you can think about it from the lens of like health-wise, oh, I want to lift weights, I want to get stronger, I want to improve my balance. But you can also think about it psychologically of, I am feeling mentally stuck up here. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling stressed, and just taking literally, it can be a 5-minute walk. It could be, I'm in my house or I'm in my neighborhood. I'm just going to go up and down these stairs 5 times and just focus on my breathing, and I'm going to reset. Or I did this the other day. I had been in a bunch of meetings and I was like, my brain is fried and I have another thing I have to do after this. So I just did jumping jacks for like 10 seconds to give myself a little bit of a reset, to get my energy moving. It's like clearing your lymphatic system, like shifting things around. So it feels like this can be used as just a hack to help you reset. It doesn't have to be the focus of, trying to lose weight or gain muscle or something like that, that you could just do something really quick, like a short walk up and down some stairs, jumping jacks, shaking, like a Kundalini practice or something. It can just be 30 seconds or a couple minutes, focusing on your breathing the whole time to help give yourself a reset. And it feels like that's just a really good tool to have in your tool belt, regardless of whatever situation is coming up. So that's what's coming through like right away. If you're trying to get into a relationship, or you're trying to get a promotion at work, or communicate with coworkers or a boss, or online dating, or out and about in the world, or whatever it is, if you are feeling stuck and stagnant and you're having kind of pent up energy, doesn't feel like it's the right way of saying this for you. It feels like it's being like, there's like a lid on it. There's like a cap on it. There's a ceiling, that it's being almost overly contained, excessively contained energy. Partially like a control thing or fear-based or something. So if it's kind of being locked in, so there's some blocks in place, people can feel that. They're not necessarily describing it in the way that I'm describing it, but they can feel that there's a wall up, or that your wheels are spinning and turning, or you're on overdrive, or you're getting burnt out, or however it is presenting for you. And so you can't hold that expansion or that relationship because you have so much going on, like internally, or things that need to be reset. So I'm seeing like how you have a clock. It's like the old timey clocks, and they like wind it up in the back. Like it's like, okay, actually this clock, over time, sometimes that'll happen. It'll shift, and maybe it's running a little faster, running a little bit slow. So it feels like trying to do that for yourself. So when you do the little recalibration, one example is any of that quote unquote exercise, movement practices, breathwork practices as a really great tool for you. But when you are unstuck, literally, energetically, metaphorically, people can feel that. And you also have a change within yourself. So if I just keep getting that it's like you have to start from yourself. So if you can start feeling within your own life that you have more agency, that you are present, that you have the autonomy to do things, to move. And if you start not saying, I feel stuck, if you're saying you feel expansive, you could also use mantras if you want. I am expansive. I am enough. I am free to take up more space. My ideas are valuable. I don't know if these are resonating because these are coming in very specifically. Whatever kind of mantra work, if you want to use that. But when you can be bigger, when you can have a release valve, whatever's being pent up, whatever's being held, controlled, blocked out of some sort of a fear response, when you can unlock that, unstick that, then it will allow you to have energy moving in and out more freely. And then other people will feel that. So it translates into how you approach a relationship, how you approach your day-to-day at work, or your personal professional development at work, or your confidence to put yourself out there in relationships, in work. And it has, like I was talking about for the first reading, there being a ripple effect of all of this. So to me, this feels like reading number 1. So I don't know, Catherine, if you were here for reading number 1. If you weren't, again, it'll be up later. You can listen to it. It feels like it's definitely picking up on that energy for me. There's a lot of stuff going on. How can we harness that momentum, movement to our advantage? People will echo that back. They will mirror it back to us. They will start reaching out to us. So we don't even have to always do all of the initiating and the questioning and the planning, because that's the energy that we're in, is we're trying to do all the things. And that has us kind of it's coming across, it's like in a tailspin. Yes, I feel I want to move on to something different in my relationship and work. I want to be valued. Yes. That's another example of a mantra. I forget the one I said about I think I said like my ideas are valuable or something like that. You can just do a simply, I am valuable. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of recognition if we're talking about our work and the things that we're doing. If you like the idea of mantra work, there's a ton of options. I've listed some of them. Could be more just anything that resonates. And normally when you have a mantra and you start using it, it feels a little weird. That's kind of how you know it's probably a good pick, that it feels like, oh, because there's a part of you that like doesn't want to say it because it's the space that you want to go, but you don't feel comfortable with it. And that's the point. We're trying to get comfortable saying that to ourselves, saying, I am valuable. I am worthy of love. My ideas are worth sharing. I am expansive. I can take up space. Like I matter. Like whatever iteration there is. My recommendation always for mantras is if you use them, I usually set it for a specific window of time. So you say, I'm going to say this mantra to myself. Every time I wash my hands, I'll say it a few times. And I'm going to do that for a month. So you can just kind of set that, like have a reminder. You could also put a reminder or something on your phone. You could put it up around your space. You could, I have like washi tape. You could put it on your phone. You could create something that has it written and it's your screensaver. So then every time you go to open your phone, it says it, and then you remind yourself to say it. Whatever tricks work, but saying it silently or aloud at least a few times. You can do multiple different mantras. I wouldn't do too many if you've never done them before. Maybe just do 2 max. And I'm getting called to flip over the card. Full moon in Virgo. Take inspired action. Now, the reason I think this is incredibly appropriate is Virgo wants to grow and develop and be better and do better. and be of service and improve. So we want to self-improve. We want to improve systems. Everything that we've been talking about here is I want to do more. I want to do things differently. I want to make a change in my life. I want to make an adjustment. That's very Virgo energy. And taking inspired action. Everything that was coming through were suggested practices. So that to me is very on point. So it's up to you. You have to decide that you want to take that action. And it's just finding what works. If you try some of the things I'm talking about and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm finding that doing jumping jacks for 10 seconds isn't helping. Great. Okay, you can try something else. But the point is it gets the wheels turning so you can start thinking about it. So some of the practices that I came up with, you could test them. Maybe it works. You love them. Maybe you go, I don't know. I'll give it a chance for a little bit. And if it doesn't feel like it's working, something else will come up and you can try that instead. The point is about taking the action because you have the power. Like this lady is kind of reaching up to the moon in the countryside. You know, Virgo is an earth sign. So she can take the action for herself and make that change, that self-improvement, that realignment. And when we're talking about kind of running around in a lot of chatter and a bunch of things, with Gemini, the energy of that is the air sign. Virgo is an earth sign. It wants to be grounded. It's like, okay, let's come back to the basics. Are my basic needs being met? Virgo is associated in a lot of ways with health as well. So how am I coming back to my body? I'm going to move my body. I'm going to return to my breath. And making sure that I can do those things so that I can support myself. And then from there, I can reach out to other people. Kind of a classic for Cancer and Virgo, I would say in particular, is the not filling our own cup type of situation. Cancer is the caregiver. So it's like caretaking other people. And then you go, oh, whoops, what about my boundaries? I forgot to take care of myself. Virgo, in some ways, like we have the drive to self-improve, but we could get lost in trying to fix things. Oh, that's broken. That person needs help. Let me go fix that. And so we could forget a little bit to come back to ourselves. Things to think about and consider.